Imagine you're 6 to 7 years old and you're sitting on the couch watching a commercial. And then suddenly, you see a commercial for an RC car. And you're wondering how you can get this RC car because you don't have any money. So you decide to go ask your parents for some money to buy the RC car. And the answer is no, unfortunately. So you go to your room, you go to your piggy bank, and see how much money you have to buy the RC car. And you find out that you are 20 bucks short. And you think to yourself, how can I get enough money to buy this RC car? So you think, why not just start a lemonade stand? So you use the $10 you have, and you go to the store and get some lemons, some sugar, some cups, and a poster board. And as soon as you get home, you decide that you're going to make the poster board and sell each cup of lemonade for $1.50. So after you do that, you go into your garage, get your fold-out table, and put it on the corner of the street. And then you fill your glasses of lemonade, and you wait for the first customer to arrive. And you wait, and you wait, and you wait. And then finally, the first customer arrives. And you're so happy that you made $1.50 by selling your first lemonade. And then, throughout the day, you get 30 more customers. And by the end of the day, you have enough to buy the RC car. This is what it felt like for me at 14 years old, but instead of selling lemonade, I started a lawn mowing business. At first, I started with only one consistent customer and mow every week for 20 bucks. So I decided that I wanted to make some more money, so I went out and handed flyers around my neighborhood. And that same day, I got 3 more customers I could consistently mow every single week. And at the time, I was saving up for a scooter deck because I was into scootering, which costs around 200 bucks. And approximately like a month later, I was able to buy that scooter deck with that money. And that's when I first fell in love with entrepreneurship. Because I realized that something I started and I wanted to get, I could be able to buy by doing my lawn mowing business, and I was making it work. What is entrepreneurship? What is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is a person who designs or launches a business while taking on risk and hope of making profit. For me, an entrepreneurship is a way I can show that I love doing work I love, while also being able to help other people. And when I first started my business, I didn't really keep that in mind. I was really doing it for the money. And I realized that people either didn't have the time or they didn't want to mow their lawns. And eventually, that's why I wanted to start my business. Eventually, at the end of that summer, I would stop doing my business because I didn't really like what I was doing. It was kind of boring to me, and I wanted to find something I loved to do. And then I saw the other side of starting a business. I decided that I was going to work for Chili's when I was 16 years old, for a boss. And while I was working there, I saw I was kind of lifeless because I wasn't doing my own thing. I wanted to do something I love while also being able to help other people. So at the end of that year, I decided I was going to quit and start another business. But at the time, I didn't know what I wanted to start. So I went to my youth group leader, Mitch, and asked him for some suggestions. And at first, when I first started doing that's when I first started doing the garbage chunk business. At first, I really enjoyed doing the car detailing business. I was making about $150 a car for only about 2 to 3 hours of work. And while I loved doing it, I also found out that I didn't really... While I loved doing it, I found out that I care about the money more about more than helping other people. And that the money was more appealing to me. According to the Kaufman Institute, over 75% of entrepreneurs start a business to make money. And while I was doing my car detailing business, I realized I didn't enjoy it, cleaning all the nooks and crannies, and it got tedious pretty quickly. I think that God's plan for me is to possibly make me to start a business that can help other people. There are a lot of ways you can help someone. You can help the customers who are buying a product by providing a product they need. But there's also another way to help people. You can help the employees working for you. You can create job opportunities that provide food on the table for your employees and possibly a work environment they enjoy working in. And this last quality I saw in my grandpa Jerry, who started his own woodworking business. And I just saw that people really enjoyed working for him. And I decided that I wanted to do this with my own business in the future. Throughout Capstone this year, I've learned that entrepreneurship requires us to be creative, adaptable, and have good work habits. These characteristics can be challenging, but the benefits can be life-changing. As I mentioned already, God has given each of us passions to create. And God is also like that. When God created the world in Genesis 1, He said at the end of each day that what He created was good. And this shows that since He created stuff, He was an entrepreneur. In the same way, God has created each of us in His own image to reflect His creativity. In Exodus 31, 1 through 11, God put the Holy Spirit in the tribe of Judah so that they have the ability and intelligence to devise artistic designs while creating the tabernacle. Another characteristic that's important to entrepreneurship is creativity. I want to see something I create turn out good, and that's why I want to pursue entrepreneurship. Another characteristic is adaptability and persistence. And this year, I decided that I would interview Michael Lee, who started a business that does accounting for smaller businesses who can't afford a full-time accountant. Something that stood out to me was his ability to be flexible and persistent, being able to deal with a lot of no's till you get a yes. Some problems he faced while starting his company were finding customers to pay him to manage their accounting. And he also had a problem with finding the right people to work for him. He wanted his employees to be willing to learn and find solutions to problems they come across. Reflecting on what he said, I want to do the same thing. I want to work on being persistent and find solutions to problems. And I need to learn also that it's okay to fail as long as you don't do the same mistake twice. When I first started car detailing, I realized that when I first started cleaning my car, I did not spend enough time researching. I was just kind of cleaning my car randomly, like vacuuming the front and then like vacuuming the side and not sticking in one place. So I decided to become more efficient at this, and I watched 3 videos and made a checklist of what order I was going to clean the car and how much for each section I was going to charge. And after I did this, I decided that I would hand out flyers around my neighborhood, going door to door. I did this for around 2 to 3 hours for about 3 days. And the best answer I got while going around was, no, I'm too busy, or no, I just got my car detailed, or I would consider it. I even had someone say yes. But at the time they were busy, so I just handed them a flyer, and they never got back to me, which was frustrating. So I knew I couldn't give up, so I decided I would ask my parents for help. I would ask them to ask their friends if they're willing to let me detail the car. And while they're doing that, I asked family members, people from my church, and people from my school. And I was willing to practice detailing probably the first 3 or 4 cars for free. And the next week and a half, I kept on getting calls asking me to people to detail the car. And I realized that my persistence and adaptability had paid off. And when I started detailing customers' cars for money, I realized it was really easy to overschedule myself, which creates stress, and that there's a lot of ways that you can damage someone's car while detailing it. For instance, if you use the wrong wax while cleaning the outside, and you scratch the car, that could cost a lot of money to fix. And I didn't really have that money to pay him back if I did damage it. So I decided the risk was too great to continue the business. The second example of adaptability is YouTube. Did you know that in 2005, YouTube started as a dating website? And they had people upload a video of a person talking about the person of their dreams. And when they first launched the company, that first day, they realized they weren't getting any customers, even when they offered $20 for people to sign up. So they decided to adapt, and they decided to upload home videos instead. So to test this out, one of the founders uploaded a 19-second clip of him talking about elephants at the zoo. And that same day, that video blew up and got 30,000 views that same day. And over the course of that year, they got 2 million views per day, and now are one of the most successful companies today. And now they're getting around 4 billion views per day and worth around $160 billion. This is one example of how I've learned that adaptable entrepreneurs succeed. Another characteristic of being a successful entrepreneur is to have solid work habits. To better understand this, I decided that I would read a book, Atomic Habits, by James Clear. And in this book, he talks about 4 core principles to be a good entrepreneur. The first one is make it obvious. Second one is make it attractive. The third one is make it easy. And the fourth one is make it satisfying. And his plan is simple but effective. And I can use this in the future to tune up my habits if I need to. Another thing I did this semester to improve my habits was a program called 75 Hard, which was created by Andy Frisella to help you change your life from your way of thinking to the level of discipline you approach every single task with. And in this program, you commit to doing 2 45-minute workouts, one outside, drink a gallon of water a day, read 10 pages of a nonfiction book, and follow a healthy diet that does not have, where you can't eat any junk food of any kind. And you have to do all these things for 75 days to ensure you make life-changing habits. And if you fail to do any one of these things, you have to start over. Currently, I'm on day 7 of the program, but I've failed 5 times so far. And my best streak so far is 26 days. The hardest part of this program for me is the second workout. And the reason why it was so hard was because I just didn't want to do it. And I didn't really have the time. So I realized that I could do my second workout of the day by doing it right before I went to bed. Because at the time, I realized I was struggling with getting more than 4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep a night. And I realized if I did the second workout right before bed, it would make me more tired. And another thing that helped me improve was getting up on school on time. Because in the morning, I found it really easy to just hit snooze my alarm. And I decided that I needed to change this by doing my first workout before I went to school to have something that I liked doing to get up on time. Through this experience, I learned that bad habits can stop me from being successful in some aspects of my life, and habits define who we are. So how can you tell if a habit is good or bad? Good habits lead to success, while bad habits hold you back from being successful. According to James Clear, we see that success is a product of your daily habits, not a once-in-a-lifetime transition. James made several exercises that have been beneficial to me to help me understand the difference between good and bad habits. And in this book, he had a number of exercises that have helped me along the way. So I decided to combine these exercises into one worksheet that you can grab on the way out if you're interested. It looks like this. And it is over there underneath the green folder. To sum it up, when I was 14 years old, I knew nothing about starting a business. And now I've started and learned from 2 businesses and 2 jobs that in order to be successful, you need to be creative, adaptable, persistent, and have good work habits. And I've seen that God has made each of us be creative and help other people, which is part of being an entrepreneur. Through what I've learned so far, I hope that I don't make the same mistakes. I'm still learning and growing, and I'm still in search of the right type of business to start. Thank you.